Hello guys, how's it going? Screezilla here. Second video for day today. Yes, going well, especially with the old concussion. So if you didn't see my last video, I had a bit of an accident today. I've got a back issue. I broke my back when I was young, and it's left me with a condition called fibromyalgia, which sort of causes a lot of problems. But my upper back, I've got problems with at the moment, and today it got very painful and I passed out in the bathroom, and well, I hit my head on the sink or the bathtub or something, and I woke up in a big pool of blood about as big as a dinner plate. Thankfully one of my housemates came into the bathroom and found me and sort of realised I was not too good, so took me off to the doctors, and I'm alright. Just a mild concussion and a little bit of a head wound. Anyway, video on the Mk2. Yeah, I know I've done a few of these now, but big news. Look towards the bottom of the screen and what it says. 3.7. Yeah, the Chinese been, well, buffed, you could say. It's been nerfed. It's been put to 3.7. Yeah, there's quite an uproar on the forums about this. It's pretty OP. I know in my first video I said I don't understand why this tank is 4.3, but I would understand it at 4.0. Now I stand to that. 4.0 I would understand, because 4.0 you're going up against a few other tanks sort of a little bit later in the war, although 4.0 really doesn't exist, but it would mean that you would sort of go up against sort of a maximum of 5.0 sort of battle rating. The M4A276, the M18, and the Jumbo, things like that, you would go up against at 4.0. You know, a perfect example of this is the Panzer, whatever that is. I can't remember my Roman numerals at the moment. Forgive me, my brain is not working at full tilt today. And I apologise about stammering and my ums today. Again, I have a bit of a headwind at the moment. So 4.0, you're going to be going up against things up to 5.0. So, you know, you're going to be facing things that are relatively tough, but, you know, your first Tigers and things like that you'll be facing, but you won't be facing... No, you won't be facing the first Tigers. What am I talking about? You know, you'd be facing some seriously heavy Panzers. So, you know, the last sort of Panzers, stuff like that, seriously heavy duty things, Dicker Maxes and stuff like that. Now, at 4.7, you're sorry, 3.7, you're still going to be facing some of these tanks. 3.7, you know, you're going to face flak buses, you're going to face Dicker Maxes as well. You know, and sort of in the Russian tech tree, you're possibly going to be, you know, the most you're going to be facing is the T-34-57, but you're not going to have to worry about the 85. You're not going to have to worry about the KV-2 85. Just the first KV-2 is the only thing you're going to be facing. Possibly ASU 57s, but generally you're going to be down tiered a lot. I just had a battle where I was 3.0 and I was fighting this tank. Boy, what can I say? I was 3.0 in a game which had tanks up to 4.0. I came 4th, I think, in the whole game. This is my arsenal. This is my range. My best tank, my Valentine and my Matilda. I fired a shot off with my Crusader, the Chinu, and it bounced. I don't know how the hell that's possible, but yeah, it's sort of like, oh my god, and of course it obliterates everything in one shot. So we're going to do a bit of live gameplay footage with the Chinu 2 at this new battle rating and see how we go. Honestly, I think it's too low a BR for this tank. This tank is too good for this. It's possibly the most OP tank at this battle rating now. If you're top tier, you're really going to punish everybody. If you're under tiered, then, well, it's not going to be too much. But if you're top tier, you're really going to fuck people's days up, because this thing is a monster. Let's see what we've got on our team. So I think we're at our tier. Yeah, it looks like we're at our tier. This isn't my favourite map, but we'll see how we go. So, yeah. Dropping this down to 3.7. Yeah, it's kind of evil, really, because this thing is just vicious. I just did a video on the Matilda, and, well, as you probably saw in that video, I was bouncing shots, you know, and saying how good the Matilda's armour is. This thing is going to rip through the Matilda's armour. Front on, anywhere, really. It's going to just absolutely annihilate the Matilda. It's going to annihilate pretty much anything you come across in one shot, because it's just brutal. You're going up against lower T-34s and things like that, and yeah, T-34s are good, but T-34s have got sort of lower armour. You know, their armour's not super strong. Now, of course, in this video, I'm probably going to get shot and killed in one hit or something stupid like that, and it's going to completely look like this tank is perfectly balanced. But that's just because I really, really hate this map, and I never do well at it. It's more me than anything else. Don't blame me on the tank. Let's see how we go. I will also blame head injuries and stuff like that, head wounds. I think it's fair enough to blame a head wound today. I think I've got that excuse if I do piss poor. And I want to go around this way. And I want to sneak around and see if I can get any shots off. Now, the turret is still quite slow, you know, it's still got all of the bad points, this tank. It's by no means an amazing tank, but as I said, the gun on this thing is so fucking perb. And the shells you've got on this tank are just pure evil. I've got a lot of bushes there, so yeah, I'm really not liking my spot at the moment. Keep an eye around the corner there just in case. So yeah, this tank is brutal to people that are under tiered. So if I'm up against 3.0, or even 2.7s, you know, which is possible. You're just really going to destroy them in no time, because your gun is so accurate and good, and the round is so bloody brutal. It's just going to really destroy the gameplay for so many people. Yes, it's a premium tank, but it's this is probably the most pay-to-win tank there is. You know, you could say that the Japanese Tiger is pretty up there in that regard, because that thing is an absolute beast, but at least you're going up against things that were designed to kill tigers. With this, you're going up against tanks that were designed at the beginning of the war. Looks like our team are absolutely annihilating them and pushing very hard. I don't want to be out in the open too much, but I need to get over where the action is, of course.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
So let's be out in the open like a complete idiot here. Looks like our team have got that spawn completely locked down over there, so things are going to be coming across this way by the looks of it. But we'll still keep an eye out to our left over here, because there's a chance we could get sniped as we're going across this nice wide open field with no cover whatsoever. But we've got somebody died near B, so obviously they've got some sort of protection around B. So I want to get over near that building, I reckon. Probably my best spot. But yeah, as I said, this thing at this BR is going to be a major problem for a lot of people, and this is going to be the new flavour of the month tank. I agree Japan needed some sort of, they needed better lower tier tanks in a way, you know, which is absolutely true, but this thing is better than the Chai-To, which is now better in the regard of, you know, the speed and the height of it, not the actual armor thickness. The only difference is you have thicker armor on the Chai-To. This thing has less armor, but it does have better acceleration because it is much lighter, and the difference is minimal on the armor. Let's keep sneaking around here, I'm probably missing tons of shit right now because I'm just not with it at the moment. There we go, we've got a triple A just there. Yes, a gunner. Pretty much everybody taken out in that vehicle. Okay, I don't want to be sat here much longer. But as you saw, that took out half of his crew with one shot. Now he was very lucky because he has very thin armor. The round doesn't actually explode properly, so you know, AAA vehicles are actually the most effective thing against this tank, in all honesty, because its armor is wafer thin. So generally, you know, solid shells, things like that, pass straight through it and overpens it a lot. It's not generally a tank known for its armor ability, but as I said, the gun aspect on this tank is where it comes into its own, and it is an absolute beast with this gun. So this is going to be a pretty poor match by me, I can tell already. I know he's around this corner, so I'm just going to try and get out here. I'm making a big mistake here, I know. him. Some on fire at least. Something to worry about. So a tank going over there, and I'm right out in the open at the moment with everything exposed. I've got my balls exposed and ready to be kicked swiftly in the penis. So yeah, this tank is basically gonna rule this BR. Simply because it's just, well, its gun is just OP for this battle rating. Now you've got the Nato, I think it is. Yep, the Nato gun carriage, which is the tank destroyer which has this gun, and that thing is a weapon on its own. But of course, it's a tank destroyer, and it's, you know, it's stuck in place. What the fuck, that's a whirlwind. I really do wish that people would not just fire randomly like that, because it really doesn't help. Because you think, oh, who's shooting at me? So look, this is not a great game to show it off, but by God, this thing is going to be ungodly at this tier. And as I said, I don't think there's much that can really match this tank in firepower. And I'm heading towards their spawn right now. I don't really want to spawn camp, but let's sit here and sort of see what happens for a moment. A few planes up. Most of our team are dead already. Look at the murder, really, from our team. The Germans are always pretty good and pretty effective murder machines, but with German-Japan alliance going with the Mk2, this thing is just going to be, oh, it's just brutal. As I said, playing against this was just brutality at its worst, because it's just like, what can I do against you, really? The Chai-Nu is a pretty good tank to begin with. You know, the Type 4... Fuck off, Whirlwind, stop shooting at me, please. The Type 4 75mm is pretty damn good, but the Type 5 is just the gun to have, really. It is just the gun of guns, the king of kings. He's got his spawn protection on, so fair enough. Let's just... There we go. Okay, so yeah, just to show you what I'm talking about there, M4 obliterated in one shot. I know M4s are not the best tanks, and I know I'm doing a bit of a spawn camp here, but, well, not much else I can do at the moment. Yeah, this tank is just going to be a monster at this BR. So yeah, really, what more to say about it? This is going to be really handy for people grinding up the Japanese tech tree. If you're looking for a tank to grind up with, this makes more sense now than the heavy number 6, which, you know, if you get the heavy number 6, then, you know, your Chaito, Chairis, things like that are going to be fighting with it and are worth using. However, now the Chai-Nu is the ultimate premium tank to buy for Japan. With this 3.7 BR, this thing is just going to completely obliterate everything in game. Yeah, that's about it, really. Look, please leave your comments below. I'd love to know what you think. Just as an example, I'm just going to take the Chi standard out with the Type 75, the Type 3, yeah, the Type 3 75, just to show you the difference in this gun. It's, as you can see, the aiming is not quite as sharp with this gun, but still, it's a bloody powerful gun. You know, you can take out T-34s with a single blow. Where were we on that T-44? Let's go down a little bit. It's still got enough to penetrate pretty much most tanks. And it's still a good tank, but it's nowhere near the Type 5. With the Type 5, you're going to penetrate KV2s, T-44s, things like that. I'm still going to be using it in my lineup for my my main battle sort of tanks. You know, my main actual military lineup, as you see here, is the Chi-Nu, the Chi-To, the NATO, M24 and Sokai. And this gives me a good little range because the highest I'm going to get is, you know, 4.3. That's the highest matchmaker, and this tank is still better than the Chi-To in so many regards. So yeah, you really, this is the tank to buy if you want a premium Japanese tank right now. It's just gonna be insane. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you again soon. This is Screezilla out.